What's going on, guys? Apathetic here, and today I'm going to bring you 5 tips on how to use the exotic shotgun, the Chaperone. This weapon has a very high skill ceiling, and it's easily the best shotgun in the game in the right hands. So we're going to jump in with how we can get the most out of this beast shotgun. Tip number 1 is don't try to shoot the Chaperone in the air. This was a hard lesson I learned early on with this weapon, and I'm still kind of learning. The Chaperone has terrible in-air accuracy. You will feel like the reticle is right on their head, and I can only think of a handful of times where the shot actually registered, and when it did, it typically wasn't a headshot. I see a lot of players, and it always seems like hunters for some reason, that they're very used to jumping and they will jump at you with their Chaperone and rarely land their shot. So if that sounds like you, focus on staying on the ground and add more sprinting and sliding to your movement, because the performance of this weapon is night and day different when you shoot in the air compared to on the ground. Tip number 2 is you must ADS and relax with this weapon in order to maximize its potential. This weapon already has max range before you even get into its exotic perk, and with these slug shotguns, it's all about precision. They aren't like other shotguns where you can just hip fire half the time. This is a weapon you want to avoid hip firing as much as possible. You should only be hip firing if you turn the corner and your opponent is literally sitting on your lap and they're so close you can't aim at their head. And speaking of aiming at heads, this is a weapon you want to pre-aim with. The more you can pre-aim, the easier it will be to line up your shot. And as you pre-aim, you don't need to be super close to the corner, and give yourself some distance and really abuse the range on this weapon. So now, why do I say ADS and relax? Because you have to relax and give yourself a second to line up your shot with this weapon. I often see people are in such a rush to fire the first shot that they end up missing, which can instantly give your enemy, especially if they're using a shotgun, more than enough time to close the gap on you. So take your time, line up your shot. This weapon has such a generous hitbox. I found if you give yourself that extra half a second to line up your shot, allows you to be a lot more effective with this weapon. So slow down just a little bit and play precise. Tip 3 is using the right armor, and what I mean by this is you want to be using armor that is spec'd for this shotgun. The last thing we want is get that crispy headshot, proc the Roadborn, and where you feel like we're about to decimate an entire team. You got them all lined up, you go to pull the trigger, and oh, turns out you're out of ammo. So using the right armor is critical to keep that from happening and ensuring that we always have a loaded Chaperone. So equip armor that has either shotgun reserves or shotgun scavenger, and if we have any armor that has pump action, which gives us bonus super energy on shotgun kills, that would be a nice plus, a little icing on the cake. All this again is meant to maximize our ability to be efficient with this weapon and remove any potential roadblocks we could have, which a lot of time will come from not having enough ammo. Altering your playstyle is tip number 4, and this kind of ties back to tip number 2. You need to alter your mindset and playstyle when using the Chaperone. The Chaperone is not a weapon you want to get in the habit of aping with. What happens when you try to push in too much with this weapon is you're going to get way too close to your opponent, and you're going to be making things that much harder on yourself, because it will be even harder to land those crispy headshots. This is a shotgun I don't want to say hang back with, but kinda. You want to be pre-aiming or ADSing just within the range or the effective range of this weapon, which will take time to feel out. But you'll often find when you're really popping off with this weapon, you are back in the mid range, just popping heads, and it's really such a satisfying feeling with this weapon. Challenge yourself to think differently and play differently when using this shotgun, and fight your shotgun aping instincts. Our last tip, guys, and it may seem obvious, but we gotta abuse the Roadborn exotic perk whenever it is procced. For those that don't know, the Roadborn perk is precision kills briefly grant bonus handling, range, and precision damage, and this perk is no joke. You absolutely map people with it, and I'm sure some of you are watching this video because you've just been obliterated from a mile away with this weapon, and we gotta take advantage of that. So this perk lasts 10 seconds and refreshes every time you get a kill. The second you proc this perk, it's time to be aggressive. Now that doesn't mean go back to being a shotgun ape, but understanding that you can basically like low-key snipe people with this weapon. This is a time where you want to watch a popular corridor that is preferably closer to your enemy spawn, really kind of set up, really take your time, ADS, and just start popping heads. You'll find that the range of this weapon will surprise you when the Roadborn perk is procced, and your enemies just won't stand a chance. When you combine the Roadborn with the ridiculous hitbox of this weapon, is without question the best shotgun in the game. But let me know in the comments down below if you guys feel if this is the best shotgun in the game, or if not, which one it is. That's it for the video today, guys. And remember, if you want to destroy with the Chaperone, avoid jumping, relax in ADS to land those headshots, use the right armor to remove any roadblocks we could have from lack of ammo, alter your playstyle to play in the effective range of the Chaperone, and lastly, abuse the Roadborn exotic perk and turn the shotgun to a mini sniper to start racking up those kills. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
With 10 warlocks like you, I could turn ideas into weapons. Five minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on. And the enemy will take this. Fight on! Shut the enemy down! 2 for 1. This is wonderful! That shut them down. Double down. Ah! Triple down. The round is on! Finish it! With 10 warlocks like you, I could turn ideas into weapons. You're winning. Stay strong. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead. And the enemy will take this. Fight on! Sound tactics bring victory. Impressive, Guardian. You have an instinct for battle.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.